think we should do.
No, I think we should delay. Alright, start after that. You know, if you weren't the one editing it, I would say that needs to stay in. Anyway,
So
I'm very upset with Basque. Not
it's kind of it's the end of the day at this point. Brees, you've ended your day at the school.
I have one more day left.
Although you do feel we'd kind of talked about
that I
last time,
could
that
do
you
it.
could do it
If I could get an amulet.
if you could get an amulet.
Okay.
Yes.
If we're ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before we leave, I'm going to stop by. There was like a.
Birds and bots.
There was. Be quiet.
Sorry.
In the middle of the temple, wasn't there like a statue of the matron, or something that the one guy? What's his name?
Yeah.
That Alton was at when I first met him.
Yeah.
It's a statue of the matron.
It's not
No?
of her, but
Of
it's,
a raven.
It's, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to.
Make a replica
I'm going to pray before I leave. And I'm going to ask for like insight into the people who want me, the people who are following me and stuff.
Okay.
To like,
Cool.
if she will help me
Awesome.
know what I should do.
Roll d20 religion.
And poof, then we appear and tell her what happened.
18.
18.
It's gotta be a good night.
Religion.
So something feels wrong. You don't sense her, and you would expect that you would be able to.
In the temple?
Yeah, you're feeling like, a heightened sense of spirituality, but something's wrong.
I don't feel the matron.
You don't feel her. In fact, it feels like almost intentionally blocked. Is kind of what it's feeling like.
That could be why I feel so off. Okay. So, do I see any amulets laying around?
Is Breeze going to the dark side?
I'm chaotic good.
Are
so
you?
there was no dark side.
Yeah, so it's just you and Alton. He's not really paying you any attention at the moment.
Oh, good.
You could take him.
Strangle him with his amulet.
Roll Arcana.
Go all
The
teary
matron
on him.
stopped watching.
Oh, May.
20.
Nice.
Not natural. Just
So
be careful. Can't open my mouth too much. That really hurts.
She had surgery weeks ago. When
No.
it was theirs.
Oh.
But like a few days back.
you don't sense any amulets in the building other than the one that Alton's wearing, but you do sense hot spots of energy that resemble what you've come to recognize as the amulet. So you could, check those out if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Spiritual Wi-Fi.
The one that's furthest from Alton.
You're wanting to steal?
I want to look at it.
Okay.
And maybe steal.
Borrow it.
If borrow it with no intention of giving it back because I'm leaving. Hey,
So
the matron would want me to
So
have
there's several statues sort of lining the upper.
Okay.
I don't want to call them eaves, but the ceiling. What would be like a molding, except there's statues and stuff up there. So they have set in them gems, and you feel like that's where you're noticing the energy coming from.
I feel a heist coming on.
So they're up high.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So what is Alton doing right now?
He's just cleaning, tending to the temple. Well, he looks like he's going about his priestly duties.
So is there any way for me to get up there?
Huh?
Is there any way for me to get up there? To one that's like out of his eyesight? Like his sight line?
It's not a very
line
big
of sight.
building, but if you were to, you could maybe do something creative to.
I know. I am going to
Kill him.
use
I'm gonna use glaive.
No,
We come in and Elton's in half. It wasn't me.
that I haven't been able to do yet. Okay, hold on.
She pulls a
How high
Palpatine
I can
laugh.
go. So how high are they up? You'd say 20 feet? Lower than that?
Under. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Okay, I'm gonna use Mingle with the Wind,
Yeah. Okay.
which is my levitation spell,
Okay.
because and it's a racial thing,
Yeah.
Okay.
so I don't even have to use the stone.
It's a racial thing.
So I can levitate 20 feet.
Okay.
Ooh, so I go up.
Okay.
He might
Are
hear that
you-
music playing though.
Yeah. Are you
Are you singing?
sneaking? I mean, are you trying to steal?
I am.
Do you want to sneak?
I should.
The wind comes rushing in.
No, it's Mingle, so it's
The wind just kind of picks you up. Like a little baby.
20 on
20?
stealth.
Alright,
It's gonna be a good night,
You
guys.
let's see
have
what he
been
does.
rolling great.
Okay. Yeah. You levitate up to the statue and you're eye level with it. And
This is
it.
happening.
What color is this gem?
It's purple.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
It's my favorite color.
And the stone is in the mouth of the crow.
Or all of them in the
That is
mouth of.
pink.
No, some of them are in
It's
the
my
eyes, some of them are
favorite
set in the
color.
head.
Can I do like an Arcana check on it just
I
to
have
see
a
if
lot of
this
beauty.
one, how this one, if it's like stronger or less stronger than the other ones, or if something will happen if I take it out of its mouth?
You wanting to know? Okay.
Is it? Mostly, am I going to die if I take this?
Okay. Yeah, I'll allow it. Yeah.
Okay. So would that be
Yeah, you're fine.
Arcana or what? What do
Yeah,
you want me to roll?
Arcana, sure.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
you
that's,
say
that's
never
not very
fuck
good.
yeah?
It was 18, but then it rolled off my book. And so it's 9.
You feel pretty confident from your early observation that you had before. You know, and it seems a little bit different now that you're closer to it. You're not sure if it's because the intensity's gone up the closer you've gotten to
Okay.
it, but you do feel like, you know, this is sort of the energy that you get off of the amulet that
Okay.
Alton wears and the others, as well as, you know, what you've noticed the other priests in the district
If
wear.
I take it, will it kill me? Will I die?
You don't suspect that would be the case.
I'm going to take it. Do I need to do like a sleight of hand?
You already rolled stealth,
Oh,
so
and I rolled a 20 on stealth.
Yeah.
So. Okay, so
Yeah. Okay.
I put it in my pocket
Okay.
and I levitate down. And then I'm actually going to go walk to Alton. And I say, so I say to Alton, I say, okay, I'm taking off for the day. And I just wanted to ask if you have been able to communicate with the matron at all recently.
Great question.
He's in on it.
I'm going to see what he feels,
Yeah.
how in tuned he is to her, because I have a special bond to her.
My clasped fist.
It's these days, since we've been having these magical struggles, the worship of the deities has become more symbolic. We don't hear from them since these magical problems have begun.
Have you traveled outside of the city to speak with her?
Admittedly, I have not.
All right. Well. All right. Well, it's been a pleasure, Alton. She
Very
just
good.
walks
Well,
away.
We'll see you tomorrow.
I mean, who looks up at the ceiling?
Yeah.
At what point would we be rushing out and make it to the temple?
No, Bonnie Tyler's Hero is playing in my mind as I'm running. I'm just saying.
Are you just gonna leave at this point?
My version,
Yes, but I do
the
want to
bard
do a
version.
perception check before I leave because I want to see if anyone is out there ready to ambush me.
Oh, yeah,
There's
that's
pictures
wise.
running
That's
to
wise.
the temple. I need a. Is that the same?
Yeah.
So
Okay, good.
go ahead and do your
Do,
perception
do.
check. Coming out the door.
We're just
11?
like 80s running. The wind is like whipping
No,
in
you
our
don't.
hair.
You don't notice.
My big numbers might be gone now.
You don't notice
wearing
anything.
I don't notice anything.
No.
Okay.
It's like a
Well, I'm going to
like
hold.
rhinestones.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have my hand near my crossbow.
Okay.
And and have like a bolt in the hand, and just so that I can like, if I need to, I can.
Okay.
Quick draw.
Okay. Yeah.
Just maybe if actually no. I am going to. No, I'm good. Like if I need to, I will just use Sacred Flame. Yeah.
Okay.
And then people will be freaked out because I can use magic inside the city. That'd be fun. Hi, I've come to liberate you.
So yeah, you didn't notice anything, and as you go to exit the city gate, you notice these fine gentlemen approaching.
Oh.
Oh, good.
And we
Breeze.
look messed up.
Yeah, we're like
Yeah.
bleeding.
I'm covered in blood from the other guy
Yeah.
that I mutilated.
Yeah, we're covered in, and then I don't know how Morin is, but there's blood. We're injured. We're kind of like running in like a hobble.
Music following us, it's slowly dying off as we get close.
It's like a music box that's kind of running out of the winding
Yeah,
a little bit.
it's going a little slower. But we made it, and the point is that the moment I see you, I just run up to you and start hugging you, and I just plant one on you.
Plant one what?
Like what?
What is
Kiss
that?
me.
I kiss Breeze.
Oh, okay.
Fast kisses,
Thank you.
please.
That I didn't want to make any assumptions.
But I just, out of just like sheer joy.
Was it fast?
It was like, oh, like I gained composure like mid, like.
And I'm just stunned.
And I'm also covered in blood, so it's probably not
Like-
the most romantic thing. I'm not trying. I'm just. It's mostly because, I thought she was dead, and
You kissed me.
yes.
Oh, you like me.
I never. Yeah.
His character always loves mine, and mine always hates him. Let's see what happens. I'm just kidding.
Same as it always will.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just stunned.
Yeah.
And what
just saying.
in the world have you been up to?
Oh boy, Breeze.
I leave you for a day.
It's been a day. It's been a day. Let's. What time of day is it? Evening.
It's evening.
I believe we
Yeah.
should go back to the inn where it's a little bit
Sun's not
safe.
quite
I
set
actually
yet,
don't think
but
we
it
should
is.
go back to that inn. We need to go somewhere else. I was followed this morning, so.
We know why.
We also thought you were dead.
No, he thought you were dead.
I thought you were dead.
I knew you were just fine.
I saw you die.
You know why?
We found some kind of strange cult.
So
That
it's
was-
not. We shouldn't talk about this in open streets. Perhaps we should go to
the seediest
inn.
place in town.
go to an inn where there's
an
more
inn that we've
privacy.
never been to.
Okay.
We're gonna find go wind through the streets a few times,
Yon
double back
Jorgensen.
3 times,
Okay.
and turn left twice. And
Are you looking for something specific?
Can I
or-
do an insight check on these 3 to see if
Morin's with
I
us.
can?
I'm like,
yeah.
it may be
see.
multiple people, but I'm still.
One
Or maybe
more time.
just on him, since he's a member of the clasp, and I think the clasp is after Genasi. Can I do? If I can't do it on all 3, can I just do it on him? I want to do an insight check to see what their motives are,
Okay.
because I don't trust them. Mostly, I don't trust him.
Yeah.
Kiss was
okay.
not good.
So you just want to know if he's involved? Is that kind of what you're thinking?
Well, I know he's a member of the clasp, and I know that he's told us that he's trying to, infiltrate it and take it down.
Yep.
But I don't know if that's true.
Your Breeze is worried
Because
that he's trying
because
to
it was
abduct-
his idea
abduct
to
you.
take me
It's
to
like
Iman.
a double agent.
And so I think if he was this whole thing, just his plan to get me.
A really sexy ruse.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
I'm glad
20.
that you rolled that high.
Because I have a +4 insight. It was very important to me that I had a high insight.
And you're not trying to be deceptive about your involvement at all.
I told her the 100% truth that I 100% intend to maybe not take down the class, but take down the most seedy, worst people in the world that are members, because that's why I'm even here in the first place.
You don't feel like there's any ill intention coming
Okay.
from him towards you. You don't feel like he's a part of this group, this whatever's trying to.
You don't think
Get a hold of
Kiss
you.
kinda
Okay.
gave that away a little?
So, because I rolled a 20, so I feel like I can trust him. That he doesn't have any kind of ill intent.
No malintent towards
Okay,
you. Yeah.
okay, all right. Okay, then I'm going to hook my arm through his. Okay.
And I'm just gonna kind of say, I'm sorry, I'm bloody, covered in blood.
We're gonna
More
go-
just says pops and Driscoll's.
So as we walk, I'm going
That's gonna be
to...
my next one.
As we walk, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds
I
on
love
him.
so much.
As we're walking, I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on him. So what
Yeah, 'cause I'm
do I do
18
roll for that? 1d8, is that right?
Yeah,
Is
D8
that this one?
plus 4 or something like that, or
1d8
Yeah,
plus
we also,
modifier.
as we're
Yeah.
walking, I kind
Is
of
this
just
an
look
8?
back at you and say,
Is that
you
an
still
8?
have that stone, right?
Did
That's
I
an
have
8,
it?
right?
Yeah, you took it.
This is an 8, right?
I took that.
Yes.
Then yeah, I would still have it.
A 4.
plus 4.
What?
So you go for 8.
I said a 4.
8.
Yeah.
What color? It was
I
like
think I
green.
always roll really small.
I know, me too.
What?
I
She
always
said she
roll
always rolls really small.
like on damage and
Hey, it
health
wasn't
stuff.
a 3, 2, or a 1, so 4 is good.
It's half.
It's half.
So I healed you by 8, Dave.
I'm slightly more healthy. Can I have some kind of utensil that used for marking? Thank you.
Mark's
Also
right here.
known as pencil.
Yeah, but I call the remote the turner upper downer thingy.
I do too now. Married
Okay,
life.
so who's gonna be in charge of
We're very
scouting
sophisticated
the
over
tavern?
here.
You. Okay,
Yes,
roll
probably.
a d20.
Should I?
Do you want
is
good
this a,
in?
is
Do
this
you
a
want
skill
an
for
average
that I'm rolling?
in? Do you want
Am I rolling like
a rundown piece of junk? Like what?
I want a
what are you
nice.
looking
I
for?
want a nice
I think
looking
we
place.
Okay.
Nicer one.
Am I rolling like an investigation or anything?
And you guys already
Just a
paid
general
the
per-
Jarl
yeah,
Jorgensen,
investigation will
right?
work.
I don't know if
15.
we paid Jarl Jorgensen as much as we used him.
Oh, okay. Because
I
I
think we
I
paid
paid.
him.
Yeah, I paid him.
Yeah, we
Okay.
paid. We paid up front though. He was very
Oh,
non-negotiable.
All right.
Hopefully, his brother. John
That's
Johnson
right. I don't
is-
want to go back there.
yeah. After the
So
monk jazz.
Oh, that
um,
gives me a chance to play monk jazz in another part of town.
so you make your way towards the nicer part of town. You're looking for a pretty good looking inn. So you find a building with really great looking stone walls. The woodwork looks like it's been wrought from the elves. And the accommodations
This is
consist of several large rooms and beds with woolen mattresses.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Wonderful.
Mattresses.
There's also a 3-story suite attached on the side.
Nice.
3-story suite.
Tower suite. Yeah.
So like the
Jeez.
presidential
Guys,
penthouse.
I have an idea.
I
Just
don't.
let me think of it first.
I don't think we should do any ideas. I think we should just pay for our rooms and
I'll go up to the innkeep
I'm like,
and,
as you say that, it's like you're probably right.
inquire about a room that would house 4.
Like a tower suite. If they
Oh,
have
I don't know that there's a tower suite in walking into it.
it looks
No.
very towery on the side.
He says, "Greetings, town folk. You don't seem to be town folk. You seem to be adventurers. What can I do for you?"
Was it the blood?
The armor, the weapons.
And-
We'll be requiring a room,
And a bath.
food, drink, and a bath.
Baths.
We can
Separate
accommodate all of
baths.
these
One
things.
big
You
bath.
don't want to share the same.
no.
Yes.
Room, yes.
Yes, room,
Baths, no. Food,
Baths maybe.
Sep- separate baths.
Baths maybe.
Separate
No.
baths.
Beds.
PG, separate beds.
I was thinking more along the lines of like, I scratch my back, you scratch yours type thing. I have blood over here and I didn't know, but you saw it. And
I scratch your back.
Yeah, I would have such a room that would accommodate 4. This is what you require?
Yes.
Well, very well. We do cater to wealthier common folk. I hope that doesn't drive you away.
We're
What's
pretty
the
wealthy,
cost?
right?
Excuse me?
It's 5 gold a night.
Oh, that's nothing.
I'll give you 3.
The good news, the reason why is because I'm actually, when I'm not covered in blood, a very proficient bard. And I
It's
could play
true.
here for a smaller fee. It's the standard bard fee.
Convince
19
me.
plus 6.
Yes.
But I just say, is this a madam or a sir?
A what?
What can I tell? Is this a madam or a
Oh,
sir?
this is it's a man. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a human man.
So I walk up to him and I just say, I may not have many talents. Clearly, some things have happened on our adventuring. I'm not fit for the road, but I am fit for a tavern, and I can make this place seem as bright as the sun.
Well, tell you what, you're a bard. Do you think you could shed any new light on the legend of the demons of Deerwold?
Oh, I know everything there is to know about the demons of Deerwold. Do I know anything about the demons of Deerwold?
You roll a d20.
History check. 16 plus what?
For
Is my
history?
history?
History's down here, babe.
History's and intelligence.
I don't have any history, but I
So
rolled a
plus your
16.
intelligence.
You feel pretty confident that you could tell the tale.
Okay. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty familiar. You know, it's in my wheelhouse.
I'd like
been actually coming up
to
with
see
some
what light
ideas.
you could shed on the story.
Of
Being a
course.
bard, I've never heard before.
Of course, absolutely. I'm a little different type of bard, though. I can sing. I can play the lute if you have one handy. But if you don't have one handy, I can do a dance with my swords while telling a story.
Whatever your method of storytelling is the method I want to see.
No lute it is. Okay. So I roll performance check.
Going straight into it.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Did you give me a spell, or was that just you telling me?
Oh.
Because you have. I'm just wondering if you were.
Thank you for reminding me.
Because
Hold on,
that's
hold
normally
on,
what you do
hold
to
on,
me.
hold on.
Is this his night? I'll lean over to Morn and say, "Is
Hold
this
on.
his nightly performance, or is he just auditioning?" I can't tell.
Okay.
Every
I-
audition.
You know, as far as I can
I
see,
go-
this bard plays everywhere we go.
I cast
Bard.
guidance. I cast guidance on
So I get
Bass.
advantage on my roll.
So you get
Some kind of advantage. All the advantage. Advantage plus 20. All
target
the
roll can
things.
add a D4.
Ooh, that is so a special natural 20.
Nice.
By the way,
Okay, roll the D4 because I used guidance.
if I get a 4, we get it for free.
Nice.
It's the most moving thing that I've ever done.
You rolled a 4.
I'd roll the natural 20 plus 6 plus a 4. It's
So
one of the most
30,
stunning
guys.
things. Consider it part of the performance, right? It's
Yeah.
not like
Yeah.
just for her, him, and then.
So
not-
you're getting oohs and ahs while you're flipping your swords and telling your story. And
What are these demons of
Dewold,
Daywald? Demons of Daywald.
you tell the story.
Okay.
This should be
What do you
good.
say it is?
So, do I know anything about that?
Demons of Dewold?
Being that our wheelhouse.
Is Daywald
Yeah.
a place that we know? Is it in Tal'Dorei?
Make it up.
All right, that's what I wondered. That's what I wanted to know.
I didn't know whether you were hinting at
No.
a story inside.
So I tell a story.
It is what you say it is.
South of Craghammer, a small place that is so close to the Shadowfell. It borders the Shadowfell and the Feywild, and together they're so close to the material plane, and it creates this like love hate of like darkness.
You better
and
do this
pure,
song, by the way.
pure beauty of the. Yeah, I got rolled natural 20. I'm gonna have to come up with something. But the whole story behind it is that everyone together between these two. It's in the forest. It's not like an actual place. It's like the forest. It's near a place called Daywald. Not important. The important thing is that the Shadowfell and the Feywild were so close together in material plane that a demon fell in love with a Fey, and there was this whole love-hate Romeo and Juliet style of love, but then it grew to this war between them, but it was like this silent war that no one knew about, and the two lovers died underneath some plane between worlds, and then everyone was sad. And they stopped the war altogether.
And Balda's crying by the end of it. Yeah, that's his name, by the way, Balda.
Balda?
Yeah. And he says, I was not aware that was a love story. That puts an entirely new light.
Yes, of course it is. Everything's a love story if you look at it the right way.
And he hands you 11 gold.
Whoa.
And he says, please feel free to come back and play anytime.
Thank you so much, Balda.
And our room
Please
is
spread the
free.
word.
It's free.
Free.
Spread the word that my name is Demetrius, and that I was going to play a different monk jazz, but I felt like this would be more appropriate.
No.
But you don't have a mask on.
I'm
Your name is
increasing-
not Demetrius. You need to say a bard name. Come up with. You are Dorian.
But you guys are hiding, so realistically, would you have done that? Like, I know you want to prank Demetrius, but
Yeah, and would you have shouted out my
No,
name?
I would have gone by Dorian, and I was going to say that. I just was messing with
yeah, I'm just saying, for the purposes why you guys are even here.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Okay, all right.
We have to leave now, but we got a free room.
Exactly.
Well, technically, my name is Bedorian as of episode
That's right.
5.
That's right.
Oh,
Okay.
Dorian. Well, that's where the bidet thing came in.
No,
And a
he's my
bidet
cousin.
to you.
Remember,
Very
His-
thorough.
his whole life was crap.
That
was-
very
That
thorough.
joke's a little bit watered
We
down.
had some good jokes. Oh,
Oh my goodness.
laughter.
Oh.
Anyway,
Let's just flush that one down.
can we all just appreciate the natural 20 I rolled?
And the
For
four.
just a
That's
second.
pretty great.
That
And
was
the
pretty awesome.
That's as high as it gets.
Yeah.
Basically 2 natural
Yeah.
20s.
It was,
Doesn't get
it
better.
was really
It'll be
nice.
it's like the best thing I've ever created.
Yeah.
Ever. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Do you have some respect for me? Any?
I was impressed.
Okay. I appreciate that.
D-
I'm just
Demetrius
curious to know.
was impressed.
Okay. You didn't realize that I could actually have a heart and be.
But if you
so
if you were to ask Demetrius about that, that's another thing.
But
That's true.
do I get like that little bit like
It's like
Just
this.
like a
It's like he
subtle-
looks over at you and he's like,
yes, that's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. Just some kind of.
Through that whole tale, you're like, yeah, that's exactly how I know it. That's, yeah.
And I'm literally as the bard, just like, and this happened.
Like
You're
that's
crying,
that's
you're
one of
crying.
the that's one of the
Did
sort
you
of
really
like
make it up?
fairy
Or
tales of
is this just.
demon
Yes.
lore, which you guys would know.
Demon
Oh, okay.
lore.
Okay, perfect.
It was
Ooh.
the Shadowfell. It's actually there's actually little spots in the world that you can.
So,
go to.
is there
Same
like
thing with the Feywild.
a separate room where
Nope,
we
we're
can
all staying
bathe,
Oh.
or
it's usually a
is the
bathhouse or
bath
bathing room.
Typically
brought
they
up
have,
to
like
the room?
basins
Yeah.
to your room.
Yeah.
That's what I remember.
But I want like a real bath. This is a nice
Yeah.
place, so
That's
there's got to be a real bath.
they offer
hot.
several
Scalding
options. There is a bathhouse just adjacent to the Verdant Public Garden. That's just off of the side from where the inn is.
Okay.
It's like a separate building off on the side.
Okay.
While
And are
she
the baths
takes-
in separate rooms, or is it like a big bath?
No, it's like a bathhouse, like think like Japanese style.
Okay, so
bathhouse.
Love
all
it.
together.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is
Okay.
amazing. While she
Or
bathes, I
what's
stand
the
out
other
door.
option?
Separated by gender. Yeah.
What's the other option?
You know this is a nice enough place that they would carry something to your room if you wanted them to.
Okay. I send them to the bathhouse because they're gross, and I ask them to bring the tub up to the room.
I just
Okay.
worry about her when we're gone.
Oh, don't
Maybe
worry about
Maureen
me.
should stand. No, I think
I'll
maybe-
stay.
Maureen, would you mind staying outside her?
I'll keep watch.
No, I.
outside.
Outside the door.
Oh, I don't know about that.
By the way, I've dropped my form altogether. I'm just a changeling. Look.
What? What does that look like?
No one really knows.
No, it's basically like almost little to no nose, like blackish and gray eyes, white
just
hair.
in our room?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When we're but like I turned
Okay.
into Dorian, the guy you came in with.
When you leave?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
But I say if someone stands outside your door, just in case someone tries to look for
I
her.
didn't get as dirty as the rest of you. I'd be willing to stand guard.
I'm gonna roll an insight on Morin because I trust almost no one.
Okay.
Even though I've already probably done this, I just want to make natural 1. He is like the coolest cat. I've
Most
ever seen.
trustworthy man.
Oh yeah.
You've developed a relationship
I'm
with
not-
him. It's
I
kind
am,
of a
because
bromance.
Honestly, yeah, I think I
He,
kind of love him.
he's so likable that you couldn't see any wrong in him.
Literally, that's the case. For me. So I mean, if he ends up being the big bad guy.
Okay,
If
I
I-
push you guys out
If I
and I lock
spot
the door.
if I spot you kind of eyeballing Morin, kind of trying to size him up, I'm like,
Well, because he said I'll stay, and I'm like,
yeah, Bask, he can be trusted. Let us go to the bathhouse. Morin will stand guard.
I'm gonna run inside it. Let's check on Demetrius. He lied to me earlier.
That's
True.
true.
That was for our own.
I'm just kidding. I know. I'm just
Okay,
realistically though, there's a little bit of like
A distrust.
you hurt me
I didn't hurt you. The bad guy hurt you.
because of you. The
Then
bad
I
guy hurt
lied
me
to
more.
you. That's how we got there.
Your words stung me more than knives ever could. Anyway.
Okay.
We go take a bath. Unsexy, just bath.
Yeah, so you go with your
Good.
towels, you cross
Remember that one? Was it your campaign
Yes.
that we were doing with Brittany? And there was
Yeah.
that weird
Me and Peter.
Yeah.
Good time.
And I shot you. No. Brittany.
Yeah.
Brittany shot you in the
I
butt.
literally opened the door and she shot me.
What do you expect from a dark elf?
Well, she wasn't a dark elf.
Was she not?
No.
I think she was a wood elf.
Oh,
She was
you're
a
right.
widow.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have been.
She wanted to do dark elf, but it wasn't realistic. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
Anyway, so
That
bath
was
time.
really funny.
Yeah.
That time was a really
a little
funny
George
time.
Michael's playing on the intercom.
Yeah. We didn't play that on our channel.
Anyway, we're after our baths.
There was an interesting scene between Peter and
I'm not sure what happened there. We don't talk about it.
it was a long montage.
It was weird.
There was food and a bath and
Wine.
And then campaign,
drinks.
and the campaign ended there.
That is when we stopped playing, isn't it?
Around there. A little bit after that.
Yeah.
Sad.
No, you guys made your way up to.
Because then we had babies.
Yeah.
Lots of babies.
So after our bath, we both had our humming the tune as we're walking back. Just kidding. We get back to the place and
Back to the room.
yeah.
Alright.
Can I actually, as I'm walking up to the room, I'm gonna talk to the innkeep if
Balda.
he's available.
Mhm.
Balda.
Mhm.
Excuse me, do you happen to know if you can clean my clothing? I've kind of messed it up.
I could have that washed for you.
Okay.
Have it ready for you in the morning.
Yes, that'd be great. Thank you. Obviously, some of the stains won't come out, but magic can do some great things.
But no one can cast any magic, honey.
I know.
If-
I could have done it.
If anyone could do it, we can.
Oh, I believe it, Balda. You guys.
Bal-
I'll talk about your tavern. The what is it called?
It's the King's Meat Hall.
Okay, I'll say I will talk about the King's Meat Hall everywhere I go.
We'll need 4 plates of dinner sent up to the room and a pitcher of
Which
ale.
of our
A
items will you be
decent-
having for the night?
How many? What are
We have several options depending on what you're willing to
Ooh.
spend.
Do you have duck?
Duck. No, but we do have Phoenix.
That's too expensive.
Like,
Well,
straight
wait,
Phoenix?
tell
Uh,
me.
so
So
what's
is it gonna like come
special
back
for
to
the night?
life while I'm eating it?
The special for the evening is braised Phoenix and peach pie with a glass of brandy.
Oh, that does sound wonderful.
It does, except for the fact that what if it comes back to life when we're
Oh,
eating
it won't. We'll take 4 of those. Bring them up to the room.
Okay, very well.
Ooh. Big spender.
That'll be 16 silver pieces, and I'll have that.
Oh,
brought
it's
up
not
to you.
bad. It's actually a pretty good rate.
I'll give.
It's probably
I'll
the
give-
bard rate.
I'll give. I'll give her.
I did wow.
I'll give him 2 gold.
I think Balda's a woman.
Ooh.
Okay.
No, I do too.
I don't know why.
I'll give him 2 gold because that's 4 silver extra.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, tips
Mhm.
too. And I say next time I've got it.
What are you talking about? We're paying for this.
It comes out of the.
Party
I
fund.
know, but I wanted to
He's
sound like a
already been
gentleman.
I'm just the party's accountant.
Yeah, he's just holding the money.
Monk, accountant, handsome man.
Monk accountant.
Mahal.
The adventure of Monk Jazz. His moniker is going to be really cool.
Right? Yeah.
Demetrius, creator of Monk Jazz, accountant to
Extraordinaire.
accountant extraordinaire.
2 adventurers everywhere. He'll hold your money.
He'll spend it wisely and lavishly on the party,
On feet.
but not excessively. No one will be left wanting.
Was it delicious? It sounds like it'd be delicious.
Not up here yet. It's coming up to the room.
I know what
We're
I
gonna
could
be up
smell.
here.
I could smell, taste it. So I haven't eaten all day. We killed a man, and that was about it.
We've rushed off. At this point, we need to go up to the room and make sure that Brees is still.
Yeah, I'm very interested in that part. Just worried about her.
Yeah.
I don't think we should leave her for any extended period of time. In fact, test her food, everything.
So, yeah, you guys were gone for, I'd say probably at least half an hour.
The blood doesn't come off.
Yeah, and you make your way back to the room, and you see Morin standing guard in front of the room still.
Morin, you may take your leave. Also, Morin, we have food being brought up.
He should go and take a bath. He was in the sewers too.
Would you like a bath? She says through the door.
I could use one. I wasn't as filthy as you, but not.
Doubt you ever will be, but okay, you go on ahead, but be careful.
The bathhouse is quite nice. There's a
assassins.
there's a faint smell of lilac as you walk in.
That wasn't me.
So he says, that sounds quite decadent.
Opulent.
I'll be back.
I narrow my eyes.
I would classify this in as opulent.
The opulent weasel.
Sounds glorious.
There's our inn right there. Bask
When
can
we
play
open it
monk jazz
together?
every night.
And you can be the
Yeah.
accountant. Oh, retiring.
Yep.
The opulent weasel.
Brees who?
Bruce who? We just need each other, man.
Okay. I'll just save the world while you guys are doing your in stuff.
The opulent weasel. End game.
Monk jazz played nightly.
So
And it's like really famous by then.
And you're gonna be really good at it.
Morin leaves, and you guys are discussing your band name at the front of the door.
I should probably check. At this point, I would have probably knocked.
No,
to
we
see if
would
Brees
have
was still in
for
there.
sure.
Oh, I had answered the door.
Oh,
Very.
cautiously.
Are you clothed?
I wouldn't open the door if I wasn't. I opened the door.
You tell me.
Read 'em and weep.
So do you have like normal clothes? Or you just wear armor?
I have clothes. I'm wearing just a simple dress.
Common clothes.
It's a simple,
I've never seen
Like-
you dressed down.
not blue. Everything I am is blue. So let's say just a simple.
Yo,
Dabba-dee.
listen!
I knew you were going to do that. The minute I said
skipped
blue.
I skipped that and I went straight
Everything
into
I
the
have
chorus.
is blue.
That's because
We were
okay,
on the same break.
let me tell you a story really quick.
I'm keeping it.
Okay, this is what he does to me. He's been doing it for like 2 years now.
More.
Just randomly. Just random
just
times.
Scream out.
But we both do it now. And he it's just random. Like we'll be doing like a live for our business and then all of a sudden he just does it out of nowhere. And it's just like this constant
It's one of the
thing.
funniest things to randomly start saying.
It's really funny.
You should try it
It's
sometime.
really, really
It gives
funny.
you lots of joy.
I mean, I think the only other thing that I think could
Like
compare to
funeral.
that is if, like, in the middle of whatever you're doing, you just drop the vanilla ice. Let's kick it.
You should watch this movie. It's pretty good. It's terrible, but you should
Okay.
watch it.
It's like a deep red.
Oh, okay.
Now Robert Van Winkle's never gonna watch our show.
You kidding me? He knows it's terrible.
But that's what makes it so good. I don't know what you're talking about.
Mr. Van Winkle.
I have no idea.
Vanilla ice.
Vanilla Ice. I like his name
He's
better.
too busy making his own TV shows.
Probably. Anyway, so
Sidetrack.
Flipping houses.
you look lovely.
Thank you.
Can we come
And
in?
my hair is dry too.
Easy there,
Because-
Tiger. We've got things to discuss.
To what?
So I'm completely dry.
Brees. We need to talk.
In all seriousness, we definitely need to talk about something. There's levity at the table, but probably much less.
Well, perhaps we should wait until the food has been brought up so we're not interrupted then.
Can I see that stone while
I'm
we're
stalling.
waiting? We found a
I
stone.
don't really want to talk.
Yeah, there's a lot you missed as I pull a stone similar to the one that you have from my
I broke it.
from my satchel
I have no control.
and hand it over to Basque.
So where were you?
We got sidetracked.
We went back into the sewers, and we came across a sacrifice that was happening with a what was it that they were sacrificing?
What are you doing?
I was fixing it.
What were they sacrificing on the altar?
It was a genasi.
Yeah, whatever that is.
We know at this point.
I don't.
Yeah, well,
I don't know that's what she is. I've assumed, but I haven't been told.
I've been assuming too.
So this is out of
said.
character. This is Demetrius bringing this up and saying there was a genasi. I don't know why, but they were asking about you. And so we dealt with that,
Okay.
and apparently there are people coming after you, which is why ever
We're
since we
worried.
met you, we haven't left your side.
So why are people after you?
Is there something you'd like to tell us?
Well, I guess I have no choice. Has the food been brought up by this point? No? Okay.
It's 4 phoenixes.
That's a long time.
Phoenix.
They
So
had
they have
to
to
kill
keep
them
doing
twice.
it.
Stop working.
You know, the only way to truly kill a phoenix is you have to kill it on a bed of ice.
I believe that. Do I believe that? I believe that.
That makes sense.
Either way, Demetrius would say that to Basque if it were to come up.
And I'm like, that's
just-
fascinating.
Should write
Anyway.
a song about that. Phoenix on ice.
Ooh. Slow jazz.
Slow-mo jazz.
Well, I think you know why they're after me.
I would like to hear you say it.
Okay. Well, I where to start?
You have a. We'll start here. You have a very interesting aura about you. Why don't you tell us
Okay,
about?
so as
We're not
we
being very
as
hinty,
I'm
but-
saying like where to start, I start to levitate. And I say, well,
This is very Owen Wilson. We're both sitting there.
please don't make me laugh too much because
I'm
it
sorry.
hurts really bad.
I won't. That's my last joke. But I just
know.
literally
Wow.
thought of that moment where we're both like,
Okay.
How many Owen Wilson wows are we allowed?
Oh.
you can be Owen Wilson.
Okay.
And I'll be Ben Stiller.
So, my mother was, I believe that she would be best known as a genie, and she was not of this plane, but occasionally she would visit other places, and she came here, and she met my father, and she fell in love, and she stayed, which they don't.
And your father was of the plane?
Yes. My father was just a normal person, I think. I always thought that he was more than that, but he was just a bard. And he fell in.
Pupils dilate.
They married, and she stayed with him, and they lived a very normal life. And then until I came along, and shortly after I was born, my mother was taken by a group of people. And I was very young at the time, and I don't remember any of it, but my father took me away to live near the elves. And we lived there for a long time. And
In Singorn?
yes.
Do I know where that is?
It's that forest right
I know.
there.
Do I know
You
where
guys
that is?
were pretty close to
Mhm.
it.
Pine Mall's not
I've
too
always
far away.
kind of stayed near. Yeah.
No, you guys started really near Singular, actually.
Yeah. And well, I didn't really know much about my mother growing up. My father never told me about her, at least what she was. He told me stories of her. You know, he was a bard, so. But he
Can't
kept.
be trusted.
I had no reason to assume that there was anything different about her until I started kind of doing things that I noticed other children didn't do, like floating.
Are you still floating, by the way?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I
You're
can
just
float
kinda,
for
like,
10
sitting
minutes,
there.
so yeah. I'm kind of like crisscross applesauce floating in there.
And I'm just in there.
And I confronted my father about it, and he told me about my mother, and he told me that I was something called Genasi, and that there were evil people who would want to take me, and that is why we lived with the elves, because they could protect us. So he told me that I had to be very careful and not to tell anybody. And so I'm breaking a promise to him by telling you. So I expect that you honor the promise that I made him, and you make a new promise that you don't reveal this to anybody. Because if not, our friendship will have to end now. And perhaps other things might end too. And I am kind of threatening a little bit.
No, I got that.
But in a friendly, let's be friends.
Also,
At
I
that
can
point,
touch
you
it.
hear a breaks the tension. a
Okay,
little bit.
and then I stop levitating.
I'll go over and open the door.
In your towel.
I'm dressed.
Oh, I'm not.
I guess we're so used to it at this point, and it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll go to the door just like with,
Uh-huh.
hey,
It's Balda. He's got a tray
oh,
of plates.
I'm just kidding. I literally
Of
would
plates and
probably just be
drinks.
wearing a robe
Uh-huh.
that they had in the place.
Uh-huh.
And I just, thank you.
Tell our friend when he's done with his bath that his meal is in the room.
Very well.
I'm like so worried about him for some reason.
Well, it's Billy, so we probably should. He's almost as bad as you are. Well, maybe worse, actually, at killing people. No, I don't know. You're really bad. Good? Good at it?
I tend to have less horror themes running
That's true. David is kind of twisted.
It's all the Poe and Lovecraft.
Okay. Well, I'll do this. We'll sit down and start eating.
Are you still flying when you're eating?
No, I stopped because I didn't want Balda to see.
Oh, that makes sense. We're normal in here. She's a ghost.
Those dramatic effects. That's something I've learned from my father.
I appreciate it.
Storytelling.
Rolled a natural 20 on me.
So as we we'll sit down and I'll say, to help you feel a little more at ease, I too will share something from my past. Okay.
It's like a 2 for 9.
I am from quite a bit north. I'm from Whitestone. That's where I was raised. Up here.
Kidding.
Ooh. That's very
Whitestone.
far.
Whitestone, very very far up here.
That's a place.
My parents died of illness when I was very young, and so I was forced onto the streets. I didn't have anywhere to go. I didn't have anything, and so most nights I was lucky to find in the trash some food that was left over. most of the time I found myself picking pockets just for a copper so that I could eat. When I came across a cleric named Tyrannus.
A what?
A blood cleric.
Okay, that's what you are.
I'm a blood hunter, but
Okay, but it's of that.
Same family.
Okay.
It's in.
Is that what Morin is?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're from the Claret Order.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
All these words are like so close together.
when
I have to
I
see them
was-
written down.
when I was caught, instead of punishing me or handing me to the authorities, he saw my potential and he took me in and taught me that of the order, which we don't speak of openly. And from that we were taught certain principles, certain hunting methods for demons, and it was kind of that kindness that gave me the faith in people. That yes, while I don't know you very well, I will sacrifice my life to protect you, because when we are together, we can survive. We can work together. But if that helps you feel any better,
Thank
we
you.
are here to protect you, to figure out what is going on, because there's something dark going on here.
So where's your father now?
Wait 1 second. I just had this pot to check this.
After those two
Yeah, right?
segments,
Yeah,
it was
that was like,
That's like mine.
I know.
Mine was just like cut, stop, cut, start, cut, start, cut, start. It was like that the whole time. It was not.
because of the baby crying.
And also,
Henry.
and then when she came out, she was moving in.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what happened to your father?
About a couple years or so after he told me, we were traveling outside of what is it?
Singorn.
Singorn, I can't remember the name. We were traveling outside of Singorn, pretty close by, but my father was doing an errand for the elves, and we were attacked by bandits on the road. At least I thought they were bandits. And he used a strange magic or something. I didn't know how he did it. He had never done things like that before. And I was hidden from them. They couldn't see me. And they killed him. And he died as I held him. And he told me my mother's name. And then told me that I needed to stay safe and I needed to find her. And he died. And a while after that, the matron, she came to me and she had pity on me, and she brought my aunties to me, and they were an elf and a dwarf, and they were sisters, and Marielle and Fidriella, and they lived in a small town outside of Kaimal, and they took me in and taught me everything they knew about healing and fighting, and what I know from them. And they were essentially the morticians of the area. The people would bring the dead to them, and we would prepare them and make sure that they passed on, and we would heal people. And sometimes they would bring us people that no one knew who they were. They were, they found in the forests or on the road, and sometimes we would have to bring them back so we could identify who they were. And so, to put your mind at ease for what we did back in the sewer, that is something that is allowed to happen. It's not, we weren't using it as a form of punishment or anything. It's a form of information gathering, and the matron does allow that for a time. And so I lived with them for a long time, and I was happy, and they knew who I was and what I was. The matron had told them, and they had kept me safe. And then one day I saw a group of people, and I recognized one of them as the man who killed my father. And I knew that I had to leave. And so that was when Basque came in.
Wandered through town.
And he knew Mary. I don't know exactly how, but she trusted him.
My life.
And sent me with him, and we escaped out of town, and that's where we are. That's what I am. I don't really know much about Genasi.
So this group, this kind of cult, has been hunting you?
I only know very little.
Wish you would have told me that when I took the job. Wouldn't have changed anything.
But it's for that reason that from this point, we stay together.
We can't trust anyone else.
We can't trust anyone else. We can trust Morin. I trust Morin with my life.
I'm sorry I deceived you, and I'm sorry I left you guys in the sewers back there. But
no, I don't think we should ever.
No, I don't think so
from now
either.
on we should be close.
For your final trainings or training at the temple.
I don't
You
need
hear
to go
another
back.
knock at the door.
I instinctively just
I'll
look
walk
for my sword
over.
and
I'll
went
walk
over and
over
grab
and
it
kind
just
of
in case.
peek out the door.
It's a little boy.
Oh boy,
That might be worse.
Morin's dead.
what can I do for you?
I have a letter for this people in this room.
Where is it from?
It's from his name is Maury.
Morin?
Good old
Yeah,
Maury.
Morin. Yeah, that was his name.
I'll take that letter.
I flip a copper.
So yeah, he takes the copper and hands you the letter. Says thanks.
Okay.
Better mark it.
I'll open it.
Essentially, the letter says,
I'm stuck in the bathroom.
I was called away for my brother. He needed my help with something. I look forward to meeting with you again, but at this time I have to go on this special assignment.
He couldn't even tell us in person. Yeah, we'll leave.
Does this seem legitimate, or does it seem?
Roll an investigation.
Seems a bit odd that he wouldn't just come up
Yeah.
to the room.
Not very high for
It's
me.
a bit inconsiderate.
10.
Yeah, you're. I mean, you're.
I doubt it too.
You're
No, I'm-
questioning it.
sincerely-
You don't know his handwriting.
Yeah.
but
I don't either.
This.
But
This
he
seems
he
questionable.
did mention to you previously that he was waiting for orders.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
that's
is true.
right.
So that
He does seem like the type, actually, to like get up and leave right away.
It's
I mean, could I do like
probably
an
for the
insight
best.
check to see if I would kind of get that
I'm
feeling?
gonna-
Because that's kind of what I
don't want
got.
him to get killed.
I'll say this.
13.
I'll be back in a couple minutes, and I'll go
That was
out.
cocked. So do I roll it again? Because it was
Yeah.
cocked.
Anytime it's not
Okay.
clear.
While they're kind of researching this letter behind, I'm gonna go
15.
down to the bath. I'm gonna go down to the
Smart.
bath area
Sure.
and just
Pull
kind
out
of
Witcher 3 and red version.
Maybe we shouldn't be separated though.
Well, you guys stay up here. I'm just going down to see what's. It's attached to the building,
That's what
Oh.
he did too.
but
So you could leave
I'm gonna
us.
go.
If I
I'm
get a
gonna
letter
go
from
down and
Demetrius,
see
I'd
if
be really
there's
upset.
anything that would look like
you're looking for like scuffle marks.
scuffle marks or any,
evidence of a struggle,
or
something
whether he actually made it here or whether he left before.
Are you asking around, or are you just looking?
I'm just gonna kind of look. I mean, is it pretty crowded in there?
I wouldn't say crowded,
mean,
but I
they're-
mean there are people going in and out, and it's definitely a place for wealthy people, so they might be using it like a sauna or a place to relax.
I'll ask anyone who looks like they've been sitting
Sweaty.
for a little while
Mhm.
if they notice
The big fat
any-
man
in
The
the
sweaty
jacuzzi.
old man that
Yeah.
has no
if they
shame.
noticed
There's always
Anyone
one.
matching Morin's
It's the same way
description?
in the women's locker room too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
women.
someone with way too much confidence.
Yes, I did.
When you're old.
notice. I did notice. Oh man, by that description that was here, somebody came and spoke to him, and he left rather quickly.
Okay. And thank you for your time. And I'll turn and walk out.
And while he's doing that, I'm gonna talk to you like real seriously about it, and just tell you how grateful I am that you're alive, and I'm glad that you told us. And it took a lot of courage to do that. Appreciate it.
Well, I'm sorry I didn't tell you before.
No,
But-
I understand your reasoning, and I'm not somebody anyone would likely trust, and it's the first time someone's trusted me ever. So, thank you.
Well,
Means
Mary
a lot to
told
me.
me I could trust you, but she did recommend that I not tell you unless I needed to.
I understand.
So I just was doing what they told me to do. I don't really have much experience with other people. You haven't noticed.
I've been other people, and I still don't have enough experience.
Hmm.
Okay.
Alright, so you make
I'll,
your way back to the room.
I'll go by.
That
And
kiss.
I'll look at. I'll go by the
Okay.
innkeep and ask if he saw anything just as well on my way back up to the room.
You're asking Balda?
Yeah.
I didn't notice anything like that, but that was in the other building from your description.
Okay. Okay. Then I'll go up to the room and I'll say, if anyone asks for anyone meeting our description, we're not here.
And then bribe him.
Is,
And-
I'll slip him an extra gold for that
Okay.
and say, no one knows we're here.
And I think you would reasonably suspect that because the letter said he was going to his brother, you could
Yeah.
probably assume he was going to Kumar because
Yeah.
that's where
That's
they are.
right.
So you could make that assumption. At least that's where he's
are
going.
we at the
initially,
end of the
so-
hallway?
End of the hallway?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay. Never mind then. I was gonna set a little like string and bell trap, but
You do it anyway.
someone
Set
wants
it
it.
over the door.
What is this? Some maid comes and cleans it up, steals my bell. It's not like a big bell. It's just like a,
You could drop the door.
Then, so I did give him an extra gold and say,
I don't know
I've
where
never
that was
seen
really
anyone
funny.
meeting our descriptions here.
Caffeine.
Discretion is what we do here.
ooh.
And then I'll
I
go up
in my room.
and say, we're not to be, wake us in the morning for breakfast.
Very well.
expect
no visitors.
And then I'll go up I'll go up and I'll knock on the door because I'm assuming it's locked.
Yeah, so you hear it. It's a very busy door tonight.
Yeah, it is. I go and look out and say, "What's the password?"
There's no password. Open the door.
That's correct. Come on in. We need a password. Also, I can change faces. I can change my entire appearance. People looking for her are probably just as intelligent or more so, and they probably have a lot more tricky things. So we need to have specific words that we would know that it's each other. Because I can be many people, but what if we're in a situation where I can't reveal myself?
Monk jazz.
That's actually what just came to my mind.
Have you heard the latest album of Monk Jazz? Anyone that brings up
There's a
anything,
great- There's a great inn down the road that's
Yeah,
playing
please.
monk jazz.
that's fair. Okay, that's
the
a good.
opulent weasel?
The opulent weasel. Yes.
So that's our
I'm
password.
sorry, sir. Have you, that's the good password. I'm sorry, sir. Have you are you familiar with the opulent weasel? They have the best monk jazz on Wednesdays.
That's the answer.
Yeah.
Yes, they have the best monk jazz on Wednesdays.
Yes, I love it.
We're in.
Okay,
Alright.
I'm gonna write this down
Yeah,
because
write
I'm
that
gonna
down.
forget it. If we're serious about it being
I'm
here.
serious. Anyone could walk in and say that they're me because I'm never me. So I think that's fair.
Oh, just for documentation too.
Yeah, I love it.
That we came up with this because we're just like that.
On that note, if there is anything that you ever want to know of me, either of you, I'm I mean, if we're making a pact to trust each other, I want you all to trust me. And obviously, I've given no reason for you to trust me because I'm barely myself or anyone in between. And by the way, I've changed back to I've been in my form in this room. So.
Well,
all of your forms, since you're just in a towel.
I've gotten dressed since then.
He's a
Okay.
Ken doll, so it's okay.
so
I mean, he could morph whatever he wanted. But.
This is true. This is true. I am everything and nothing.
Wow.
though I was hesitant when you told me that you were a member of the class.
Tusk glove.
That's cool.
Wow.
That's the name of the episode.
Hey, we're playing in their world. It's not.
What was I saying?
I thought for sure
sorry.
this.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
I thought for sure this episode would be titled "The Opulent Weasel." They have the best monk jazz on Wednesdays.
It should be that.
It is decided.
Or the Kingsmead Hall.
Yeah.
That's a good one too. Anyway, I was hesitant to trust you when I learned that you were a member of the class, and then that the class was looking for Genasi. But I am comforted by the fact that you seem to be the only one who's had contact with the matron, because I have not been able to communicate with her at all. I feel blocked from her, and Alton at the temple told me that it's symbolic now, that they don't communicate with the gods.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. I just think they're having difficulty. I think that someone was attempting to contact me.
Exactly, the matron.
I felt that it was reaching through, but it was difficult. It was unclear. So I think if we left this place, we'd find out. But we have two options that I can see in the future. One, we need to find out and go back into that crypt and search the place. All we did was kill the guy. We need to find out what they were doing, if we missed anything.
You want to go back into that place where they were looking for me? Where
That's
they
the
were
last place they would
sacrificing
expect us.
Genasi? Why would we go back there?
Oh, we killed the person there.
One person. There's so many people who are involved.
The other option is I'm going to be.
If
in
it's
big
already
trouble.
here in Iman and they have been all over the place, then why would we go back there? That doesn't. No, there's nothing there.
Don't you think we missed anything down there though?
There's more down
I
there.
felt like
Why should we? Why does it matter?
because we know where they are and they don't know who we are yet. They know that you're here. They don't know about us so much, and they probably wouldn't expect us to walk into their front door, or at least one of their front doors.
There's more there.
There was another room.
We can. What I feel very strongly is what we can learn down there, though it would be dangerous,
We wouldn't have to run
would
so
guide
much.
us to learning more of why they're hunting your kind, and potentially it could be tied together whether it has anything to do with the plague.
Also, us losing our memories. We still don't know where we came from and how you ended up next to us.
That could
We
be.
were traveling with a bunch of Astani, and all of a sudden, we're in the forest.
We may have to go back and at some point, once we figure out what's going on here in Iman, maybe we might have to go back towards that forest and find out what happened. But
Also, Secret Emring's ball is in
A day?
is a day.
Tomorrow.
So if we rest, go to the crypt and sewers tomorrow, quickly scout it out, see if we can find any information before they find out that this guy's been killed. Who knows? He killed everyone that was with him. Also, we have a stone.
did you not realize that was an illusion? There was no one else there. That was him.
Just one person. I was under some kind of spell, but the point is
That
that
was an illusion, right? I thought that was.
Or
Or
I never said it was, but
oh,
But
I thought
it
they'd all
seemed like
disappeared,
it seemed like it was.
so that's what
There was
Denise
only
That's
one
what
body
Denise
when
would
we
believe,
finished.
yeah.
But we also have a stone. Maybe did Lord Valentin out of the game? Did Lord Valentin activate that stone? or did he just tell what it was? I don't remember.
I think he just identified it.
Let me check it.
So, because I can
I
maybe
don't know
attune.
what you're asking me.
The
I'm
other
trying to
stone
see if
that
I can
Maurice has
attune to
been
the
using.
stone, or do we need to have Lord Valentin do it first? Because
so
she has a stone
you're
that can
asking
cast
if you
magic.
can attune to the new stone.
So I can use
Without
magic.
Lord Valentin.
Without Lord Valentin.
Because we're kind of afraid that Lord Valentin will assume that it's for him.
Yes,
I'm not
Can
gonna
I
tell him
check
about
it and see? Because I mean,
just
I
don't wanna
think I
get
have a.
possessed by something.
What's your Arcana?
Just seems 0.
Okay, mine's a 2. So
Just,
maybe I check it and see if.
I hope
you
you
can-
roll high enough, otherwise
you
this
can
encounter's gonna be
attune
a lot
to it?
different.
You're trying to attune, or you just what are you looking
I
at?
don't
Identify?
know. Just seeing if it's something that he can use.
Because if I can use magic,
So maybe
things
you
can
need to
change.
roll for it.
I would
then.
I would say
So you're trying to sort of identify it.
Yeah.
If it's
Yeah.
same thing as what you
If
have.
there's something we have
Because
to do
if
in order
she-
to
if
access
it's the
the
same
magic.
type of stone that she has, that means I could possibly cast
Yeah.
magic again. Because that guy was using it to cast magic that he clearly used on us.
Yeah,
And
I
if
mean,
it's that kind of stone, I know he was using it. It looks like he was drawing them into it.
Mhm.
But if I could use that power,
I mean, I have been using this stone for a while, so I think maybe I'm more like familiar with how like this other
yeah.
magic would feel,
Mhm.
right? So, should I roll for that?
Go for it.
We show it to you anyway. So I mean,
9.
You do feel like it's the same kind of thing as
Here,
what you have.
You try. I think it's the same. Try doing
I'm
something.
going to touch it with my
And
hand.
don't worry. I pull out the gem. If something does happen, I can help you. I'm not going back. I don't need to.
by the way, I'm quite hurt. By the way. I'm still quite hurt.
Yes, I can heal you. That's right, because I have 4 slots. Okay, I should have healed you already. I forgot that I had.
Yeah, I just didn't ask for it.
Yeah, so
It's like a
I
good
am
meal
gonna heal
also
you.
raises you 2 HP.
What's that?
It's like in Skyrim, a good meal.
Yeah.
What is it? A D8?
I love how we refer to Skyrim like it's the only RPG ever.
Because it's the best.
10. I mean, we are gonna go to sleep,
But
but
who knows? We might get a murder in the middle of
that's
the night.
true. It's so
I'm going to
true.
try to attune to it. What do I need?
Mhm.
So you rolled a 10.
Yeah. What is it? Like wisdom,
roll
intelligence.
roll a d100.
I'm gonna die now. 64. You did say a 10, but I did it anyway.
That's a 100.
That's all right. So you, when you try to access the stone, you start seeing things.
Cool.
There's a one-eyed wizard in the room,
I have my sword in hand,
and
so I'm just like, look out!
he looks like he's going to be casting spells. You see random cuts of light, so everything goes dark, and you see flashes like you're afraid he's casting spells or something on you.
Well, I'm gonna attempt to strike him.
'Kay.
Because I believe it's real.
'Kay.
So I'm gonna roll for it.
'Kay.
Roll the 19.
Okay, 1 to 2 it's you, 3 to 4 it's you.
Sorry.
It's the 19. I'll first strike on you.
He attacked you.
Well, I start shouting, "Look out! There he is!" And I pull out my sword and stab you. Do I roll damage?
Hold on.
Let's see what he has up his sleeve here.
Oh dang!
Did I
I
kill
should have
his
cast.
sleeve?
Okay, I should have cast Zone of Truth while we were talking.
That would have been good. Yeah.
But I'm just gonna go on the faith that I trust. Trust everybody. I mean, I had pretty high insight. So.
What I get for thinking I can use magic, I kill someone.
It's okay, baby.
Someday, in episode 30.
Maybe you're seeing the level one of someone who had it before.
Luckily, I rolled a 1 for damage. You got 1 plus 4, so only 5 damage. Unless you use some kind of monk magic
That's
to
what I'm
deflect
waiting-
me.
That's what I'm waiting to hear.
Because I know there's like deflect missiles and monk everything ability, OP power.
Right.
Monks are crazy. If you
Did-
can see what they do, high levels, just throw them
Okay,
off the cliff
okay.
and just like,
So can we
Floating
go
down.
back for just 1 second?
yeah.
So he all of a sudden jumps up and pulls out his swords and says, "Watch out! There he
He
is."
pulled out one sword.
Okay,
so
pull
watch
out a
out,
sword.
There he is.
Because
and
I had my one.
Do
sword.
I see him
I
going
went to the
for
door.
Mark, or like is there time for me to like
I'm
react?
fast.
I would say it happens pretty quick,
Realistically-
especially with his 19. I mean, that's
It's way
a
fast.
pretty.
So there wouldn't be time for me to cast Shield of Faith.
If it's instantaneous, yes, but if it's an
It's a
action,
range.
then no.
Yeah, it's a range. A bonus action.
Well, in all fairness, I did have it drawn because I was at the door.
That's true.
Looking out.
That's
why
true.
I'm saying I only had the one.
Okay.
I would have made 2 attacks. I'm gonna play it as I would.
Yeah, yeah.
I only had the one on.
It probably wouldn't have helped you anyway, because what's your AC?
Mine's
not
16.
above 19 plus.
What is it?
6.
16.
Oh,
So
it
not
would have.
It
Yeah.
would have hit. So, how much damage was it?
5.
5?
That's not too bad after I just
No,
killed him.
I rolled a 1 for
Okay.
damage. So you guys are. But I'm readying another
Will you
attack.
roll a d10?
Huh?
Roll a d10.
Roll a d10. I have a d10 right here. 4. Instant death.
Do I
Do I feel it?
do I think that this has to do with the stone that he's holding?
I mean, I would
Yeah.
say that's a fair assumption based on your guys' experiences
The
with
kid.
the stones.
Mhm.
Can I
2 casting spells.
can I
This is all
Do
happening
a-
like all at
can I
like.
can
It's
I
very
do a
fast.
I still
can I
need to-
do a
This is like 6 seconds.
yeah, can I do a subdual attack non-lethal and
Thanks.
kick the stone out of his hand?
That would be a form of grapple, probably. So yeah,
I am probably.
but he
freaking out.
believes that you're the wizard. So
Yeah.
So I'm gonna.
the same wizard that you guys just killed.
Which I demolished. So it's but like in the state that I'm in.
Yep.
And that guy had all kinds of freaky powers. So
That's what I mean.
yeah. So you maybe believe that he maybe didn't die.
And I've pretended to be other people, and I've seen people use magic to
Yeah.
do all sorts of things.
yeah.
So I would just roll
'Cause I
a
cast-
basic attack on that, right?
Because I use illusion magic.
Well, it's gonna be a strength grapple.
Yeah.
So
So it would be like a strength saving throw.
for him, yeah.
Oh, for him,
Yeah.
and then opposed to like an attack roll for me.
Yeah.
So if I do that, it's a 23.
Nice.
Strength.
Yeah, strength saving.
Okay. Saving throw.
Yeah, saving for you. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You beat it easy.
Okay.
Because I have a +1 strength.
The stone falls out of your hand, and Bask falls unconscious.
And the stone's out of his hand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pick up the stone with a sleeve and put it back in the bag.
Okay.
I'm gonna check on him and see if he's alive.
Sure.
And I'm having the hot rod thing with the taco fighting the sandwich.
That's your
Once.
dream.
That's my dream.
If you're alive, you might be dead.
Once I
Dream or death.
Do you want me to roll anything?
Roll medicine. Yeah.
yeah. Once I pick up the
8.
stone, I will.
He has a heartbeat.
He's alive. He'll be fine.
I'll pick him up and put him in a bed,
Okay. So
and I'll
within
take his swords.
okay.
Maybe we will need to see Lord Vellington.
Perhaps.
Within 5 minutes, Bask is stirring back awake.
The taco won.
And I'm
And I'm, like,
standing
looking
kind
up.
of, I'm standing like kind of leaned on my quarterstaff on the near the edge of
And
the
your
bed.
swords are leaned up against.
Behind me.
Yeah.
When I wake up, I'm just like looking around. I'm just like, where'd he go?
It's
Did
okay.
you guys kill him?
There wasn't anything here.
I got him.
Well, no, you got Demetrius.
That was me.
After I
Where
healed
did I
him.
stab
So
him?
thank
With a
you.
19
I-
plus 6.
I would say high shoulder. Whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, almost death blow.
Um,
Oh gosh.
Before
And
he
I look
woke
at
up,
you, I look
before
at you
he
and I say,
woke
I'm
up,
so sorry.
before he woke up, I did cast cure wounds again because I have another slot.
We'll just blow through them all tonight.
Well, then we rest and
Yeah.
have one more.
I know.
Again, 10. I
10.
got roll 6 for you and 4
The
for you.
just-
Yeah,
Okay.
I had done that before he woke up.
I believe, Bask, I believe what you...
I will heal. I
What
will get
happened
clear
to you?
titles.
I don't know what happened to you, but I believe it's tied to that stone. I've taken it back.
We need to see Lord Wellington before we can do anything with that, I think.
I'm so sorry. I thought it was him.
Who?
Perhaps
The one-eyed man that we fought.
Oh.
the wizard who was the
He was as clear to me as you are.
Perhaps it was showing you its previous owner. Maybe it was fighting to get back to its
in a way.
owner.
Perhaps we can figure out more about this later, but for now it stays in the pack.
I think that's smart.
And then I suggest that we rest for the night, and then I'll make sure the door is barricaded.
And any windows.
Okay.
Are-
Are you keeping first watch? Is that what you?
Shameless plug.
when I get enough, always from now on.
Maybe I will keep first watch since
Yeah.
I'm not hurt.
Am I able to get up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
I take a string and a bell from my bag and I tie it to the door and like put it right in there. So if it opens even slightly, it will ding down, fall, make noise. So
So are we all sleeping?
yeah, that way we can all rest.
Okay.
If there's anywhere that we can, it's in a locked room.
I wouldn't be so sure, but yeah, probably the safest.
Okay. So you're all going for a long rest.
Mm-hmm.
Unless we, maybe after that we should. I'll take the
I'm
first
gonna
watch
leave-
and then.
I'm gonna leave the little fireplace, assuming we have one, a stove maybe.
Yeah. There's a what's the wording for it? Yeah. It's a hot stove. It's always on.
I'm gonna make sure it's stoked and
Yeah.
still.
Well, so you this stove you don't have to stoke it. It's
Okay.
actually tied to the main fireplace,
so
so
it's
you
like a
could
lever or something.
you could put something on it at any time and cook something or heat up water or whatever.
Does it give
It's
off
just-
light though?
No.
No.
It's metal. It's like a hot.
So in the room, there's just candlelight, lamp light, things like that.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm just gonna make sure a lamp is lit
Okay.
and on the whole night,
Okay.
and I'm gonna keep getting up and putting oil in it.
Okay.
Just make sure it's lit.
You two can rest. I will stay up for now, and then we'll continue through the night.
Okay, so I lay down to sleep, but I'm terrified of what I saw,
Mhm.
and I just keep getting up and looking at her once in a while, making sure she's okay.
You've been especially affected by
Yeah.
magic.
Yeah, because
Lately.
normally I do the illusions on people.
Yeah.
Wasn't prepared.
Yeah.
It's been a bit.
Okay. So you're gonna do like a half rest or a short rest or whatever, or so you're gonna do
No.
staggered rests.
Staggered
We're
rest.
gonna get
Okay.
full
Okay.
night's
We'll all
sleep.
get we'll all get a
You'll
full
just be the
rest.
last one to get up since you're the first one to stay up.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and then I
Okay.
take last watch since I'm up anyway. Normally at that time, and I'm doing my training in the
Okay.
room quietly.
Okay.
Not swords, just
Yeah.
hand to hand
Yeah.
stuff.
All
You're
right. So
in the room, just like small space.
yeah, the night goes on without
That's nice.
any kind of problems. In the morning, you hear a knock at the door.
This
That would be you.
Yeah, since I'm up, I wipe myself off and I kind of open the door, changing my face to Dorian, and I kind of peek out just a little bit with a dagger at my back,
And you see Balda at the door.
and I say yes.
I've brought your clothes for you, sir, and I have brought you breakfast, as the other man suggested.
Balda, do you normally?
I have for you boiled eggs, buckwheat biscuits, and tankards of mead.
Oh, that's quite kind of you to deliver it yourself. Don't you have any people that work for you?
Sure, but I take care of our special patrons.
I roll an insight check on him. to see if he looks different or acts different at all.
Mhm.
I rolled a 19.
He seems tired, but
20 total.
outside of that, you know,
From what we know.
This is Balda,
This is Balda.
from what I know. Okay. All right, so I think
it's probably towards the end of his shift.
I can kind of sense by the eyes, because especially the eyes are hard to cover when you're mimicking someone. So I look in his eyes for a moment, and then I thank him, and I say, "What does it cost?"
Oh, wait, this has been paid for.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We're not expecting any visitors, so keep everyone away from our room until we're ready to come down. Would you?
Oh, no need to tell me twice, sir.
Okay. Yeah, if it's you, that's fine. But thank you. I don't want to raise any suspicion, so I'm just going to leave it at that. And then I shut the door after taking the food, and I place it on a little table area and kind of just meditate and wait for everyone to wake up. Wafting it over to
yeah,
their
you
faces.
guys wake up to the smell of the hard-boiled eggs and the buckwheat biscuits, and there's food.
I'm also assuming I would have told you what I found out about Morin, and that I don't believe he was.
Oh yeah, we definitely would have
Yeah.
spoke at least before.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And that's probably a fair place to end the evening, huh?
I would have cut right before that.
What a good night of RP, guys. That was good. Well done.
Yeah, and I got to stab someone.
Stabby rip, stab, stab, even though it was me.